أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على النبي الكريم. Your Excellencies, Mr. President, ably represented by very able, indefatigable Vice President and the former Vice President and the governors and the former governors and deputy governors here present, our investment stakeholders, most notably, I call him Mr. President with small p, Aliko Dangote. He is president of Dangote Group, but president with small p. And his twin brother, his friend, Tony Elumelu. I'd like to recognize you for obvious reasons, the two of you, because you are two Nigerians we are so proud of. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I deliberately stayed back to recognize my own, I call him young officer. He was very young when we were in the army, and I'm a senior by far. So I call him young officer, but the young has grown. It's somebody I personally am so proud of. So many years of working with him. In my 18 years as Sultan, he had been very close. Today, as the wish of Almighty, he is here as the governor of this beautiful state, Taraba. I recognize, I call him Kefas, and he remains Kefas. We thank Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for bringing us. But we always remember what Almighty Allah has done to us, and has always been very kind to us in our lives, not because we are different from other human beings or other beings in the world, but we are one big family. And of course, whenever we start a program like this, we greet all of you, all our brothers and sisters here and those watching in the best form of greeting. I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Whenever you are called towards the end of a program to speak, you find yourself in between two hills, because most of the things you would love to say must have been said by other speakers. So if you start saying them, you'll be sounding like a broken record. But we thank Allah for bringing us to Jalingo, this beautiful city today, for this Taraba Investment Summit. It's a very historic summit. I've been fortunate to attend investment summits in Kaduna, Kano, and Niger states in the past. And today, as it pleased Almighty Allah, we are all gathered in Jalingo for this Taraba Investment Summit, a very historic one. The summit brought all of us together as bigwigs in the business industry, as political leaders, as traditional and spiritual leaders of this great country, and those also out of the country. We're here for this summit to seize the opportunity of these God-given resources of Taraba State to see how we can contribute to the development of the state for the benefit of humanity. When Kefas called me sometimes in April, he said, "Sir, I would like to invite you to Taraba." I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Investment Summit." And I told him I have been to so many investment summits, but I need to see the very positive aspects or turnouts of such summits. So he said, this one is going to be different. So I said, okay, inshallah, let me know the date. He said 21st May. So I marked it down. Yesterday I pulled his leg and said, please, excuse me. I won't be able to come for tomorrow's summit. He shouted, he said, no, I'm coming to Sokoto. But I just wanted to test him. Because it's an assurance, it's a promise made over 4 weeks ago. And I'm very happy that Almighty Allah has made it possible for us to be here to fulfill that promise. So, Kephas, we are very happy for you, for bringing this distinguished ladies and gentlemen of high repute from across the world to Taraba to see how they can invest and support the development of Taraba. And I have always said, whenever any place is developed in this country, it's Nigeria that is being developed. So develop Taraba, and I'm sure you're developing this country. Our presence here is a very big statement that we believe in what the governor is doing. We believe in his ability to turn things around. We believe he has that strength. And of course, youthfulness. I heard they call him Chief Whip of the Governors. And I know why. Because as a soldier, he wouldn't have gotten any better name than being Chief Whip, to whip in other civilians in line. But most of the governors are civilians. But having been through the military, I think you are at a very good place to whip them in line to do what is right always in such a disciplined manner. So our presence here is to show that yes, we believe in this program for today for the development of Taraba. As spiritual and traditional leaders, we've always reached out to people, to our political leaders, to please do something and change the scenario. There had been very negative scenario in the country in the past couple of years. In Taraba, it's been that bad. But at least today, we have that confidence, say, yes, somebody somewhere is doing the right thing, being very pragmatic in handling the affairs of Taraba, and everybody can come to Taraba peacefully and invest. And I think it's important for us to know that no matter how much you try to lure people to come to your place, if there's no security, they won't come. It's been said before. But in the past 2 years, and I've been discussing with Kephas, and I've seen a lot of changes. Taraba is being more secure than it used to be, and people can come in peacefully. And I believe that. And that's why we're here as traditional and religious leaders, to give you that moral and spiritual support as you struggle to make Taraba a much better state than you make it, and also to lay stronger foundation for whoever comes behind you to continue to build, so that we will have a very peaceful and developed state. But as I have said, things are changing very positively, and I mean it. Because by what we've been discussing with him, and I know what plans he has, and he needs our prayers, he needs our support, and I want to assure you, you have our support 100%. And I believe you deserve to be supported by all, because seeing even the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar here, that shows that at least you are in his good books. Try to be in the good books of all, but try to fear Almighty God whenever you are doing things. Because in the affairs of people, fear God. But in the affairs of God, fear nobody. And I think it's important for us to always bring such issues up as we have learned in the past. And I believe, as the last speaker said before me, I think, okay, it was Tony, no matter what you do, what you are to do, you cannot develop without power. I was asking the governor whether the Kashimbila Dam has been completed and is running. He said only about 30-40%. And we need it 100%. I think we have to focus on that, because if that dam had been completed and generating power, a lot of problems we are having with power would have been history by now. But it took so many years for the successive governments to really work on that. I think we must concentrate in that direction, complete the whole project, let it give power to everywhere, not only in Taraba, but all around the Northeast and in the country in general. So I'd like to thank you most sincerely for inviting us, and we thank you on behalf of my colleagues, the traditional leaders in this country. The ONU was supposed to be here. I spoke with him last night, and he was not aware that he had been invited, but he was in Ife as of last night, and he said he wouldn't be able to make it because there's no airport at Ibadan, it's closed down. He couldn't drive. So I told him that, well, since I'm here as the national chairman, and you are the co-chairman, whatever I say, I will hold you responsible. You will also know that I am holding you to it, and you must accept whatever I said. So on behalf of all traditional leaders in this country, we assure you get of our total support, not only in Taraba, but across the country. There are so many traditional leaders who are into businesses. You can reach out to them, like ONI is one of them. They have links, they have reach to so many people across the world. And in our, I won't say shadow, under our umbrella, under our, well, let me say shadow, you can hide under us and do whatever you think is right, but don't do wrong things. If you do wrong things, we'll pull your ears and we'll correct your mistakes. So we thank you His Excellency, the Vice President, for coming, and thank all of you here for being part of history. We're happy to have you here. This is our program, and we will continue to work towards attaining that highest level of development, not only in Taraba, not only in the northern part of the country, but in the entire Nigerian state. We thank you most sincerely. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.